Hiking poles. Hiking poles are probably one of the reasons I'm still able to do this sport at 60 years old. There's just a lot of advantages to them. They can be a little difficult to learn, you know, the rhythm of them. But if you've ever cross-country skied, it's the same rhythm as that. But poles are just really nice because what they do is they're going to give you 3 to 4 points of contact on the ground now. You got your 2 feet, and then at least one of your poles is always on the ground when you're going. These things have saved me from literally hundreds of falls, because you'll be walking around and you'll hit a root that you can't see in the undergrowth on the trail, or trip on a rock or something like that. And so when you start to fall, you just stick the poles, and you can save yourself a lot of hassle. That doesn't mean I've never fallen. A couple of years ago, my poles got tied up, and I did a complete face plant right on the trail. You know, so it happens. But if I didn't have poles, I would have had hundreds of falls by now. Like I mentioned in an earlier video, 2 years ago, I tore my left quad tendon in the Grand Tetons, and I had poles, but it was a complete freak accident. It was one of the only times I've fallen that way, where my toe got caught and I fell backwards and my leg just buckled, basically. So that was just a freak accident. But most times you're falling sideways, falling forward. You do want to try, if you are falling, you do want to try and fall in your pack, but not at the expense of, like, you know, doing all sorts of crazy acrobatics. You know, sometimes you don't have time to react. Like the time I did the face plant up on Isle Royale a couple of years ago, there was no time to react. I mean, I was on my forearms and on my face before I knew what happened. So you're not going to prevent all falls, but like I said, I bet I prevent 5 falls a day, just because of roots and rocks, and you know, and when you're going across a stream, sometimes, you know, we don't do many deep sea crossings. We don't do many deep stream crossings, but you know, certainly it helps there. But when you're just on one where you just got, you know, you're trying to step on stones going across a stream, boy, I mean, this just helps your balance so much. Poles also, when you are going downhill, basically what you can do is you can control the momentum of your weight as it's going downhill. And what that allows you to do is you're not putting as much pressure on your knees on every step downwards, because you're using your upper body and your arms to kind of slow your momentum a little bit, so you can place your foot exactly where you want to place it, and with the amount of weight. Because otherwise, if you're going downhill, it's just boom, boom, boom. You know, and if you're dropping 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet in a day, that's a lot of pressure on your knees and on your ankles and things like that. And so the poles really have just been something, like I said, if it wasn't for poles, I probably wouldn't be able to do this sport anymore. And so I can't recommend poles highly enough. Some of the younger people, you think you're going to live forever, but boy, I mean, I just cringe when I see you guys jumping off of a 18 or 24 inch rock, like, oh, boom, you know, and you land on it. I'm just going, oh my goodness, my knees hurt just looking at you. Okay, so you're not going to be young forever, and so preserve your knees. Consider getting poles, and if you want to try out a set, I got a spare. I'm hoping to get a new set. This is the first set I got, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. They're still going strong, but you know, I might be due for a new set. My other set got a little bit bent. I'm not sure how. One of the poles is a little bit bent, so I'm retiring those poles. But I'm happy to let you check them out. You know, you don't want to go out and drop money on poles if you're not going to use them. Poles, it's the way to go. As I was doing more research, I found a couple of really good videos about the use of trekking poles. Both of the guys in the videos that I'm going to link you to have some really good tips, and I actually learned a couple new things from that. So I would encourage you to watch them. So check out in the notes below, and there'll be links to both of the videos. And remember, poles, they're the way to go. We'll see you on the trail. Even moving your son from college housing can be an opportunity to train for backpacking. Oh.